All right. Ian.
Patrick.
You know, we talk about EA surprise mechanics a lot, loot boxes. It's almost every week there's something controversial going potentially around this. And we brought this up before about all the lawsuits pending or coming against EA and other companies. In North America, there's rumblings, but in Europe, it's been happening. It's been happening for a while here. So the latest news, this happened on last Thursday. Judge sides with Dutch government, Netherlands, on fining EA up to $5.85 million unless it ditches FIFA loot boxes. All right, the issue ruling came out October 15th and was published just last Thursday. Allows the Netherlands Gambling Authority, known as Kansspelautoriteit, or KSA for short, thank you, to proceed with fining EA and its Switzerland-based office roughly $292,000 apiece each week that FIFA continues to sell loot boxes until the maximum fine is reached at $5.85 million. EA said it would appeal the decision in a statement to Eurogamer. All right, so they first came out against this back in 2018, the Gambling Authority. I think we did a story on that. And it was targeting, at the time, FIFA 18, Dota 2, Public Battlegrounds G, and Rocket League. It eventually threatened the studios behind those games with fines unless the mechanics it deemed to constitute paid gambling were changed. Obviously, that has not happened. Obviously, it's only grown in the past few years there. I think something just came out today about, I think it was Blizzard Activision's profits that were insane on DLC or microtransactions was fucking nuts this year. I think it just came out. I mean, I'll search for that in a bit here. I just saw that this morning or yesterday. 3 of those games no longer have paid loot boxes. FIFA's paid player packs remain the core of its Ultimate Team mode on FIFA. So it's basically the same exact fucking thing. You're still paying for a chance to win something.
Sure.
Players slowly build up an all-star team by buying packs of player cards, with famous top-tier players being the most sought after and the rarest to get. And that's obviously the same with the 2K games. Same thing. You buy the packs, right, to get your team.
Yes.
It's like, imagine trying to play a multiplayer game in the 90s where it's like, oh, I can't play as Sean Kemp, Ian. I got to spend money for the chance to play him in NBA Jam,
It's for the online modes. Well, it's for the My Team modes, yes. So it obviously in a career mode or a franchise mode, you would still be able to play as that character. But when you're building your teams, when you're doing those, yes, you need to unlock the character via those.
This is what the Gambling Authority wrote in its announcement. The fact that football players sometimes have a high value and that they can occasionally be traded constitutes a violation of the Gambling Act. Under Dutch law, a game of chance that allows a prize of premium to be won can only be provided if a relevant license has been granted. So that's the thing here. It's if players have different value here, and you're obviously going for the higher value and you're paying money to do it, I don't know how you can argue that it's not gambling at that point. I just don't. And you're talking about trading it. Well, then trading is that's a form of currency at that point too. So it's like, yeah.
Yes, once you can trade it, then you can accept money for it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, this article talks about them describing loot boxes as surprise mechanics and calling them quite ethical back in 2019 when discussing the issue for UK Parliament. Did they put on their wigs and their robes before they went in the coat to call it quite ethical?
Yes.
I kind of love that they still do that in the UK, and like you still dress up in the fucking robes and wigs from 800 fucking years ago in the UK. It's something I like about that. I don't know why. It's overly formal to the point that it's funny and ridiculous.
I find it to be absurd. But yeah.
Yes, it's totally absurd, but they still do that. All your lawyers have to dress like that. It's nuts. We do not believe that our products and services violate gambling laws in any way, EA said in a statement to Eurogamer. We are appealing the decision and we seek to avoid a situation impacting the ability of Dutch players to fully experience and enjoy FIFA Ultimate Team, because that's what they're really worried about, is the experience of the Dutch players, not the fact they're taking money in hand over fist.
Yeah, no, they're definitely worried about the money hand over fist. So I mean, it's interesting that that this is happening, to see other countries attack this.
It seems like Europe isn't, they're not as they're not taking this like as much as we are, obviously. In Europe, these different European countries are like, this is fucked up.
The truth of the matter is, though, it's not going to change anything. It's a slap on the wrist. There's a maximum amount that this fine can be, sure. And the maximum amount of this fine is nothing compared to the money that EA makes. So EA is not going to change anything. They're going to pay the fine, they're going to cry about it, and they're going to continue doing this.
Unless they change the law to say, well, there's not going to be a limit anymore. We're just going to keep taking money from you. And then more countries do that in Europe.
Sure.
There's one from the UK.
But I think I think we're probably pretty far from that, honestly.
Well, this makes it a step closer, though. Because if they thumb their nose at this and keep doing it, all right, they can say, all right, we're gonna take more money from you. We don't care. It goes in our coffers, and we penalize you.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking is, though, I mean, unless they make it significant, I don't think there's... I think EA will continue to look at this and be like, the percentage that we get to keep is still worthwhile.
Yeah, but think about it, though, if like 10 different European countries do this, then it starts adding up. If France does it.
Okay, I mean, I could see that.
Then we're talking about tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars over time, and then they're going to have to. But then at that point, what do they do? How do they change it that it's not gambling anymore, or they have to just give up that revenue stream, at least in Europe? I don't know, but that's where it's at least in the Netherlands, it's heading there. Well, they'll just say we're not going to have it available in the Netherlands, and then the players might complain because maybe the players want it. I don't see how you'd want this though if you're a player, because if you're so used to it, you want to open up your packs. That's what everything's become now. Speaking of the flea market I brought up in the intro, there was for the first time in years a guy selling new sports cards packs and boxes. So you're right about the
I told you. I don't just make this stuff up. It's a big deal.
But it's all gambling. They don't give a shit. They're not going to complete sets of sets of. They want the marquee, hard to find rare cards. It's gambling.
There are people who go for full sets, but
they're not 10-year-olds like we were doing it.
The big thing with sports cards is you get the packs and you go for what are called hits, and these packs have
cards.
These packs have these boxes. Because you don't buy in packs anymore. You buy in, I can't remember what they're called. My friend calls them blasters or something like that. You buy in a box, and the box may have 6 packs of these ultra high premium sports cards, and there's guaranteed to be at least one hit, and so that's what gets people in. Is like, okay, I'm guaranteed to get one card with a piece of a jersey, or I'm guaranteed to get one autograph card. But then it's
a bunch of shit.
But then it's like, even those hits between. So now that those hits are guaranteed, are you getting the good hit, or are you getting the shitty hit?
Yeah, because the hits themselves aren't rare. There's one per pack.
Right. So you're getting the hit that's worth $20, or are you getting the hit that's worth a couple thousand?
This is nuts.
And even that, there's only going to be a few of. So. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of my friends, like I said, are into sports cards now, and I get it. It's fun. I love opening packs of cards. I like opening packs of Pokemon cards. I play the actual Pokemon card game a few times a year, and I think it's fun, but I enjoy opening the packs, and every once in a while, Vonnie and I will spend $40 on what they call the trainer packs that have 10 packs in it or whatever, and we'll open them, and it's a good time. I understand that thrill, but you can definitely get into a deepening problem.
It's a slot machine. Real quick, someone wanted us to talk about the story, and we're talking about this. So I guess now it's even a big hit with people like Logan Paul, where they opened up a Pokemon Gen 1 box, a sealed box. They thought it was a resealed box of trash. It was like open card packs and other packs. So the guys who must have bought that sealed box got swindled because it wasn't a graded box. So
Pokemon cards right now are insane. Gen packs, fresh packs of Gen 1 base 2. Of base 2 cards are selling through Vonnie's store for like $400 a pack. One pack of cards.
Do they have to get them graded so people know that they're not resealed, or are they foiled ones that
they're the foiled ones? And then but yeah, the Pokemon stuff is insane right now.
It's exploding.
And a lot of it is because Vonnie got pissed, because part of it was because of the Logan Paul thing. But yeah, like the first run, base 1, base 2. I think Jungle and Team Rocket are and I don't know a whole lot about this, so people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I listened to Vonnie talk about it. The price of these cards is just insane right now. The cards themselves, you can get a ton that are worth nothing, but the sealed pack itself is worth something.
So it's following how Magic got big now. Pokemon are getting bigger with that.
Well, Pokemon's had all those card games have had their peaks and valleys, but right now Pokemon is definitely peaking, especially the old stuff.
Is it because of Pokemon Go and the new Pokemon games, or is it just everyone's getting to be 35 years old, they grew up with it or whatever, 30 years old, and they're getting into it?
Yeah, it's people finding stuff to do during lockdown and COVID, and it's getting popular. And then because I think Logan Paul, I can't believe we were talking about him, was trying to go for like a full, I think he was trying to get a full set of Pokemon cards from opening sealed packs. Something that a fucking rich asshole would do.
Oh, that's the thing on YouTube
Yeah.
now. People are doing that. I told you about the one who opened the 86, 87 Fleer and got the Jordan.
Right.
He spit on the card. He was so excited.
Right.
If you spend $400, $500, $600 for a pack, you might win the lottery. He
Right.
got a fucking Jordan. That was gem mint. I saw him doing that. I don't think he was lying because there's not wasn't it's that basketball set's not a huge amount of players, so like the odds aren't super. I mean, they're low, but it's not like there's going to be multiple Jordans in a box of those. So like now, like I see them selling factory sealed box for auction, and it goes for like tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, because you can get multiple Jordan rookies and other stuff. People are getting these out of the woodwork, and I'm sure like with the store, people have these unopened boxes still of these packs. Mm-hmm. I don't have any. I just have like the president's cards from 10 years ago that you might get like a piece of George Washington's dentures or the fucking piece of Abe Lincoln's hair or something like that, or signature. Like there's a chase card even for that. That's the point. I'm not making that up. There's even chase cards for fucking like non-sports cards like that. They do it. It's nuts. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, EA loot boxes are in trouble potentially long term.